As soon as this bicarbonate is generated, we see the formation of carbon dioxide and water. So all the effervescence that you see with the sodium bicarbonate addition, it is because this byproduct of the reaction forms. Carbon dioxide, being a gas, will just bubble out. Once the second extraction is complete and you see a distinct layer form between the two different layers, you will know that the aqueous layer now carries the 2-naphthol. Remember, this 2-naphthol did not react with sodium bicarbonate. It was left behind in MTBE, and hence you can selectively separate out benzoic acid in your first extraction and 2-naphthol in your second extraction. Both of these beakers will be treated separately with concentrated HCl. You will add a few drops of hydrochloric acid to protonate the anion. Once the protonation is complete, the solid will crash out because remember, benzoic acid is insoluble in water, whereas its anion is definitely soluble in water. The benzoic acid and the protonated naphthol itself are not soluble in water. They will precipitate out as solids. After the vacuum filtration, you will collect your material on a wing, on a watch glass. Make sure to remove the filter paper before you scrape out this material on your watch glass. Always do the beaker 2 first because it will usually take about 25 minutes to dry. Your beaker 1, the material in beaker 1 will be done very fast, usually between 5 to 10 minutes. And remember to take the melting points of both of these materials together. Before you actually start your experiment, please make sure that you know all the precautions related to this experiment. Remember, your funnel should not be leaking, and you should always check leaking with water before you actually pour in your mixture of MTBE. If you lose any mixture of MTBE, your percent recovery will be wrong. The funnel, when it is hanging on the ring stand, it should not have the stopcock on it. The Teflon washer vent plug should be closed before you can make sure the two separate distinct layers in this funnel. Do not vent the funnel from your angle to yourself or to anybody else also. You will be using thermometers in the melt temp, so do not put those on the cold bench either. Always dispose of your chemicals and leftover materials responsibly. The remaining organic layer will go to the liquid non-halogenated organic waste container, whereas the liquid from the filter flask after filtration can go down the drain. So if you have any confusions, just look back on where to dispose the materials or ask your instructor. For this particular experiment, this is the data that you need to be collecting. Remember to collect the starting observations. What does your starting materials look like? The during observations, what happens during the experiment, and the final observations, which is what does your final molecules or compounds look like. So you generate the statement or sentences of the physical states of those compounds, the color, the physical state, etc. Make sure to end it with a summary. When you submit your notebook, please submit your pre-lab and your data and your summary. For your data sheet, you will need to calculate several of these numericals, write out the appropriate chemical equations, and then answer the theoretical part of why only benzoic acid, not the naphthol, was expected to react with sodium bicarbonate. I have also placed an acidic basic sequence sheet on your Brightspace content section, which will also help you understand a little bit more about these acid-base reactions.